the truth.
LeBron, first and foremost, Merry Christmas. I know it wasn't the outcome that you guys wanted on this day, but you guys did have control most of the game. What gave the Clippers that final edge those last couple minutes?
They got stops and made shots, and when we got stops, we weren't able to counter on the other end and make shots.
Now, looking ahead, what are the takeaways from this game? How you guys can adjust to move forward?
I don't know. I mean, we'll watch the film, at our next practice and see ways we can get better. I mean, it's a long season. It's a marathon. So, it was a great atmosphere. We had a chance to win, but they made the plays.
LeBron, what was your sort of experience of that last play that eventually got overturned? What were you thinking before they went to the video on that?
What do you mean?
What was your sort of live experience of that, and how were you surprised by the result of the review?
Yeah, and not by the review, but I was surprised by the overturn. I didn't feel like the ball went off my hand, but I mean that's the way it went.
Have you watched replays on that?
I've seen a little bit on the jumbotron, but not since I've been here.
Because the physics of it are just kind of confusing. Like how does it go with that angle?
No, I mean if he strips down, the ball will go down. It wouldn't go back. But he stripped the ball and it went. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if you look at a slow motion 4 or 5, 10 times, you can always decide if it could be a different call. But throughout a live game, if he strips the ball and it goes, I mean it's just weird to me. But that wasn't the game right there. I mean it's a big play and you want to try to get it right, but it wasn't the game that lost us.
From your vantage point, did he touch the ball?
Yeah, for sure.
Ron, to your point, it's a long season, but what things do you take away that might mean anything from the big picture?
We just gotta get better. And I say that even when during the win streaks to the road streaks. For me, you stay even keeled throughout the whole season, no matter what. No matter if you're losing, you're winning, because it's a marathon. A new narrative can be made the next day or the next opportunity you get to go on the court. So, we just continue to work our habits. Continue to be. I think defensively we got back to how we play defense tonight, and offensively we got to be better. I mean we had some late turnovers in the fourth quarter that was very costly. And we missed a lot of our perimeter shots, including myself. But we just got to be a little bit better.
Were the 5 days or so leading up to this game effective in your rehab, and how healthy did you feel?
I felt healthy going into the game. Second, the third defensive possession, I got kneed in the groin, taking a charge from Pat Bev. And it kind of set me right back to where I was 5 days ago.
Obviously, there's much more to the game than this, but when you split those free throws late, how frustrating was that for you?
I mean, that's my job to go up and make free throws. 1 out of 2, it's still one possession game. We're still down 3, and we still got to stop. And then the play to review happened after that, so we still got an opportunity to still tie the game.
Hey, Anthony, Frank was talking about the discrepancy at the free throw line in the second half. What did you think? Why did that play out? And why did the Clippers get to the line so often in the second half? And why was that a difference in the game?
I mean, we were in a penalty with, I think, like 8 minutes left in the fourth. And we wasn't attacking. We shot a lot of jump shots, but, they wanted it more. We had a lot of mistakes down the end of the game, mental mistakes on both ends of the floor. We fouled a lot in that fourth quarter, put them to the line. Really in the second half, they made shots and got some stops. So we gave that one away.
Big discrepancy too, just in offense in the first half and in the second. I think you're in the 60s and then in the 40s in the second half. What did you see offensively in that second half, AD?
I said we missed shots. We were rushing a lot of shots. We had some good looks wide open. I mean, Kuz had one, KCP had one at the end. We just missed them. I think they were a little bit rushed, but we all had shots. Like I said, we wasn't. I don't think we were too aggressive, especially being in the penalty with 8 minutes left. That's the time where we got to be ultra aggressive to get to the line.
Defensively, what was working for you guys at the start, and how were the Clippers able to respond, do you think?
We were talking, we were communicating. We were in all our coverages, and towards the end, we messed up on some coverages and they made us pay. Like I said, we were fouling, wasn't being solid, and they get to the line, early in the third, and was able to cut that lead. So it kind of gets away from how we play, which is fast. Anytime they're in the line, it kind of slows the game down. So we weren't able to get out and run like we did in the first half, and like I said, they came out in that second half, and was aggressive getting to the line, Paul George especially, and was able to cut that lead down.
Anthony, it was the same result as opening night, but are there any ways where you felt like your guys' overall impact or effectiveness against them has developed since opening night?
Yeah, I mean, we did some good things, but like I said, we gave that one away. We had the game. We were in control of the entire game. We let them get back in it. We were still leading. I think about 7 with about 6 minutes to go. That's a game that you got to close out. So, like I said, we gave that one away. They made some big plays. We had some miscommunication on defense where, Kawhi, got a couple threes. We didn't, box out a couple plays, and they were able to get the rebounds and make us pay for it. So we got to do a better job in those areas.
A game that you guys are up by 15 in that third quarter, and then by the end of the third, start of the fourth, it's tied. What happened in that stretch?
Turnovers. Like I said, they got to the line. The game was definitely slowed down. He wasn't able to play with pace because they was able to get to the line. So we got to do a better job of, not fouling and, being able to keep our pace high. And going to the fourth, a tie game, and we still had the lead, late down the stretch, and we got to be able to close those games out.
Last 2 questions.
You had a couple possessions where you matched up with Kawhi. How do you feel like you did defensively against him in those?
I feel like I did fine. I mean, it was a couple of possessions where, we had a couple of miscommunication on my end, and he was able to get a 3 over Dwight, and then, got to be a step into him a little bit more, and he got a rise up 3 in the first quarter. But for the most part, I was able to try to force him to his left, not let him get right, for his, 1 dribble, 2 dribble pull up. But it's a team defense, not one-on-one. I think our entire team, did a good job for the most part, but we, once again fouling, and offensive rebounds kind of killed us, and he had a couple rise up 3s in front of our defenders, and that's the one thing that we don't want to do. When we're on an island with a player like that, is give him rise up 3s or let him get middle, and we kind of struggled in that department tonight.
This is now 4 straight losses. How do you prevent? You've obviously played some really good teams during that stretch. How do you prevent that from becoming something that gets into your heads? And
I think we got back to our defensive, intensity tonight. Which we were struggling in. The other 3 losses that we had, we wasn't playing any defense, and I think we got back to it tonight. I said we just some plays offensively where, we came down here 3 turnovers in a row, late game, which we can't have, so we need to get shots at the rim. But we get those possessions back, and no telling what the game is. So, we got to be able to execute down the stretch. But the one thing I do like that we got back to our tenacity on defense, and that's going to help us win a lot of games.
Hey, Kyle, just starting with the final 6 minutes or so, you guys had that 7-point lead. What did you see as the major difference down the stretch?
We just beat ourselves, plain and simple. Obviously, credit to Clipper for making shots down the stretch, but we just beat ourselves. We had about, I think, 3 straight turnovers, and let them get back in that game after you said we had that lead, and it bit us at the end.
What do you take out of that big picture-wise, just given how intense the game was? They're going to be one of those teams you're going to see again at the top of the conference.
We've always said ever since training camp, our biggest enemy is going to be ourselves, I think that's what it is. So.
You said you felt about as good as you felt after last game physically. It certainly looked like you found your rhythm. How much did that feel good to just get that coming and feel a little bit more like yourself and what we saw from you in the past couple of years?
This is what I look like when I'm healthy and I'm confident in my body. Like I said, I've been hurt all year, and I guess this is the best I felt, and my play past 2 games reflected it.
Now that it's over, was this still looked upon as just another game?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That was the attitude coming in, but it was a pretty intense game and
Still another game. It's we're in December. We got a couple more months of basketball.
AD said he felt like you guys got back to some of the defensive principles that were carrying you earlier in the season. Did you see that aside from the fouling that seemed to be kind of plaguing you in the second half?
Yeah, I think over the past 4 losses we've had, past 4 games, this was our best defensive effort. Guys were locked in, played on a string for the most part. You're always going to have mistakes and miscues throughout the game, but I like where our energy was, throughout the entire game on that end of the floor.
the other night some of the guys were saying they were quite surprised to even see this team lose 2 in a row. Now it's up to 4. Is that with the talent here a little bit of a surprise? Is it losing skills?
I mean, it's the NBA. Anybody could lose. Obviously you don't want to. When you're a great team, you want to try to have the mindset of not trying to lose 2 in a row. Definitely not trying to lose 3, but we just got to get back on track in Portland.
Is there a common denominator in any of those, through those 4 losses?
Yeah. Bron didn't play in one. AD didn't play in one. Got outplayed in Milwaukee and, just let one slip.
As a man that didn't play in the first one, you certainly seem to be enjoying this one with 25 points tonight. What was the energy like? What did you feel like?
Healthy. I just felt healthy. And obviously, not playing the first one was disappointing to me because I just love to play basketball and be out there with my teammates. And, I just love playing in big games. It's what you want as when you grow up. As a kid, you want to play in big game and in bright lights. And, on top of that, playing on Christmas is, like childhood dreams to me. So
you guys made a point of emphasis that the bench had to elevate compared to when they played the first time. Was that a focus coming into this? You guys bench-wise, I think, had 51.
That's just our focus every game. Playing off the bench, we take it seriously. We have to, come in and, if the starters are hot and they get a lead, we got to keep that lead. And if the starters come out dull, we got to pick them up. And, that's what our mindset is every single game. Some games we may not be there, and, that's how it is. But for the most part, that's our mindset, and just come in and, play spectacular basketball. So,
Frank went to those small lineups a little bit more with you in the rhythm. With AD at the 5, LeBron at whatever he's 4 on defense at least. What do you focus on with that kind of a group, and how much did you anticipate that before the season?
Just play my game, be me. Space the floor. That's one thing. With Bron and AD, those guys need space to operate and work. And anytime I get the ball, I'm looking to score and just be there for them. If they get stopped or chopped up, just when they pass it, be ready to shoot.
Frank, it was 63 points in the first half, 43 in the second. What did you see offensively in that second half, and what was the difference down the stretch?
Well, we fouled them every time down. So when you're taking the ball out of the net on a free throw, it really breaks your offensive rhythm. And that's where it started. And then, we just had some, a lot of possessions, especially in the fourth quarter. We didn't execute well enough.
Frank in the back, how did you decide, which 5 guys you wanted to close with tonight? And did you feel like you got what you wanted from that lineup down the stretch?
Well, we didn't get enough from any lineup down the stretch because we didn't win. But the same way I always do. We have our guys that we typically going to close the game with. And, if we have a need for ball handling, an extra ball handler out there, we put Rondo in there. Kuz had been playing well, so we decided to play Kuz, and we typically go small late.
Frank, what was your vantage point on the ball with like 3.5 seconds left that LeBron lost out of bounds and ended up reversing the call?
It's the replay center. It's completely out of our control. It looked like it was off Pat Bev, but I guess it wasn't.
Frank, on the possession that led to that play, you had timeouts, chose not to use them. Just how did those 15 seconds play out from your standpoint, and then what were your conversations with LeBron like after?
Yeah, a lot of times you get your best look, especially in a needed 3 situation where they're going to put their 5 best defenders in and switch everything. A lot of times you get your best look, in those situations off a live miss, of a live rebound. And, I trust the ball in LeBron James' hands late. We didn't make a play this time, but I'll do the same thing next time.
Frank, obviously the point total is noticeable with Kuzma, but what are you seeing from him the last couple games after he took those 5 games to rest?
Yeah, it looks fresh. I mean, he always plays hard, with great energy. And, this is the Kuz that we envisioned, throughout, all the summer and since I've been here. Somebody that can just fill it up, and he's working hard on the defensive end. He gives us a long body on that end that plays extremely hard and, changes the energy of the group. So, he was terrific tonight, and, it's good to see him get going, and he'll be a big part of what we do down the stretch, the rest of the season.
Why do you think the Lakers lost today?
Well, a lot of reasons. We put the Clippers to the free throw line far too much in the second half. Didn't get there ourselves. Went cold from the 3-point line in the second half, and didn't execute well enough down the stretch.